Good morning everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. For this week's video I thought I would film a kind of Vlogmas style week in my life. I really want to get some sewing and some crafting done this week, and I thought what better way to do it than to take you all along with me in a video. So yeah, I think this video is going to be kind of random. There's going to be lots of things that I want to include, lots of crafts, lots of homey stuff, other bits and pieces that I want to get done, as well as probably some dog walking and all the usual things that I need to include in my day. So yeah, I do have quite a bit to share with you. Obviously I wasn't on last week because my daughter was poorly. She had this coffee coldy virus thing that seems to be going around everywhere, and I think half the school were off with it last week, which was actually, I don't want to say it was really nice because obviously I don't want her to be poorly, but it was actually a nice slow 3 days. I feel as though for me the week before had been really busy with work stuff, which was brilliant and I'd loved doing what I was doing, but it was also very busy. And then last week just gone, because Lily was at home, we just kind of took everything slow and we watched Christmas films. We put the Christmas decorations up. Yeah, we watched some films and she did quite a lot of colouring, Christmas cards. I did a bit of crocheting and a bit of crafting as well. So yeah, even though I obviously don't want her to be poorly, it was a really nice quiet week. So yeah, that was last week, but obviously I did miss filming my video, and I hate to miss filming my videos. I always feel a bit as though I'm missing out in some ways, because I love to come on and talk to you all about what I've been doing and various other sewing bits and pieces. So I did miss last week, so I'm glad to be back on and back to normal at the moment this week. So since I missed last week, I do feel as though I've got quite a lot to share with you. I have some finished makes that I want to share that I got done recently, things that I was working on and have now finished. I'm also in the middle of a couple of Christmassy projects that I thought I would share with you because they're really cute, and I also have a fabric and a yarn delivery that I thought I would share as well. So just throughout this video, I'm gonna film what I'm doing and chat a little bit and hope that that will be okay. This year at Christmas time, I really feel as though I just want to kind of slow down a little bit. I feel like December can get so busy for all of us, can't it, with everything that goes on. So I just want to sort of make time to do the crafty things and the baking things that I want to do. And that sometimes you get to the end of the Christmas period and you think, oh, I never got around to doing that and I never got around to doing this. I've been thinking a lot recently about trying to slow down and be more in the moment with Christmas, which I know sounds really cliche, and that kind of thing is just being thrown around everywhere at the moment, but I do feel as though there's really something in that, because I'm terrible for always feeling as though while I'm doing something I should be doing something else, and I can't get that feeling out of my head. And I think that's quite common for us as women. I think if you're kind of busy-minded like I am, and I know so many of us are, there's just so many things that I always want to get done in the day. Far too many things, really. So I think what I want to do this year, and I hope this doesn't sound silly or strange, is that I just want to really enjoy what I'm actually doing and not always be thinking that I should be doing something else or about all the other things that haven't got done and should be done, and things like that. I'm sure you'll probably know what I mean. So yeah, enjoying the little things and enjoying the moments are the way forward this Christmas time, I think. And even with things like walking the dog, I mean, I walk my dog pretty much every day, and sometimes it's just a chore and it's something that you've got to get done, but going over to our field at the moment is so lovely, especially in these really sort of wintry days where everything's really misty, and I just love walking him and then coming home to our house, which is all nicely decorated at the moment, and having a nice cup of tea and a mince pie and just feeling really cozy. And those are the kind of moments that I think you need to remember and cherish and then look back on. Anyway, I'm waffling on at the moment and I need to bring it back in and talk about what I'm actually going to try and get done today. So this week, I'm just going to move my tea out of the way actually before I spill that all over my fabric. I want to get this fabric sewn up because I was planning to make something with this last week, but then Lily was poorly, so I didn't get any sewing time really. So I really want to get this fabric sewn up, remember this? I was trying to decide what to make with that. So I've decided now that I'm going to go for the South Bank sweater by Nina Lee. So many of you love that pattern and you've recommended it to me, and I thought it would work really nicely in this fabric. So I have my pattern all printed out and ready to go. I haven't stuck it together yet, but I have printed it out. Looking at the sizes for this, I think I'm going to have to do a little bit of grading. I've got it upside down there. So the pattern ranges from a size 6 to a size 20. I think I range from a size 6 to a size 10. So 6 in the bust, 8 in the waist, and 10 on the hips. So a little bit of grading needs to happen there. I think I actually went for a size 10. It was slightly bigger than my own hip size, but I decided that I wanted it to be a little bit more roomy around the hips because the finished garment measurements seemed to be quite tight to my own body measurements, and I wanted a little bit of movement there. So I'm going to go for a size 10 on the hips and just hope that that works out okay. So that's my plan. Firstly, this morning was a bit manic actually. Tuesdays always are because my daughter needs to be in school early. So I came home and did my usual mad dash around the house to straighten everything up and put a wash on. I try to put a wash on every day in this house because I'm sure you're all the same, but the washing in our house just seems to pile up endlessly. And I feel like a good way to keep on top of it is actually just to put on at least a load every day. Sometimes I actually do more than 2 loads. So you might have seen from the clip there that I'm still using my small laundry tablets and also the fabric softener as well. And I'm really pleased to say that this part of the video is actually sponsored by Small, who have kindly sent me some more laundry products to test again and then share with you. So I've actually been using Small products for around 4 months now, and I really love them. And we love them so much actually that we went back to Small and actually ordered some of their dishwasher tablets and their multi-purpose spray as well, and I love using all of them. So if you're not familiar with Small, they're a lovely, friendly company. At least that's my experience with them anyway, in working with them and also as a customer. And they're on a mission to reduce plastic and chemical use in cleaning products and day-to-day products that you use every day around the house. So for a while now, it's been on my mind that we really need to be a little bit more eco-friendly in this house, and I'd really like to reduce the amount of single-use plastic that comes into our home and what we use day to day. I don't claim to be great at it by any means. It's just taking small steps really where I can. So at least I know that with my Small subscriptions, I'm helping to save over 4 tons of plastic every single week just by subscribing to their products. So here's a few reasons why I think my Small products are great, and if you haven't tried them already, I really think you should give them a go. I love the fact that their packaging is all cardboard, so it can go straight into the recycling bin. They have a child lock system, so if you have small children around the house, there's no way they can get into these boxes without really trying to pull them apart. Using one Small box saves over 4 bottles of plastic per week. They also use less chemicals than your average detergent products, and you can buy them in bio or non-bio tablets. Another thing that I love about Small products is that they're vegan and cruelty-free. They have the little bunny logo on the box there, so you can always be sure that these products aren't tested on animals. I've been using my Small products for around 4 months now, and I have absolutely no complaints about their performance. They wash really well. I love the delicate scent that they have. As I've mentioned before, both my husband and my son play golf, and in the winter time, like now, they get pretty muddy, and the Small laundry tablets work perfectly fine to get all of that mud out of their golfing clothes. So yeah, no complaints at all. The fabric softener is great. I'm still on my first bottle of fabric softener from Small, which I received 4 months ago in September. And yeah, it's still going. You use 4 pumps in your wash and that's all you need. And yeah, everything comes out lovely and soft and smelling fresh. All of the Small products work on a subscription basis, so you can tally your subscription to your own needs. So basically you go onto their website, you can set up your subscription based on how many washes you do per week, how many laundry capsules you like to put into your wash, 1 or 2, whether you want bio or non-bio tablets. And Small will set up a personalised subscription for you which gets delivered to your door based on however much you want to wash. So these boxes are actually small enough to fit straight through your letterbox, so there's no worry about whether you'll be in to collect the delivery or not. They just get posted straight through your letterbox, which I think is great. So if you've not tried Smol for yourself and you think you might want to give them a go, you can use my code SECRET15, which I'll pop here and link below. And you can grab yourself a free trial of the laundry tablets or the dishwasher tablets, and you can also get 15% off of your next 2 orders as well. So really there's no reason not to give them a go.
Christmas lights fill the city. There are people everywhere. The snow is falling white.
So I've just managed to cut out my South Bank sweater dress. Took ages. I always feel really drained after cutting out. I don't know if anyone else feels like that, but I think it's because of the mess that it makes. I don't like mess very much. And if everything's getting all everywhere, I feel a little bit kind of stressed. So I'm always really pleased when it's cut out and I've tied it away and I'm ready to get sewing. So what I'm going to do now is just have some lunch and then take the dog for a walk. But before I do that, I just wanted to quickly show you 2 things that I've been working on. The first thing is this little Christmas deer. So this is another Studio Sewing patterns. You'll know if you've been watching my videos how much I've been enjoying sewing up the dolls from the Studio Sewing collection. I've made the bear and I've made the panda, and they've also released a Christmassy deer and reindeer. But there's also like a female and a male version you can make, and the male version looks a bit like Rudolph. So I'd really like to make a lady and a man deer. Again, this pattern was really lovely to follow, super clear instructions. I really enjoyed sewing her up. The face was slightly more involved because you've got a little bit more embroidery with the spots on her head. So this dress pattern is a separate pattern, and I've just sewn it up in Christmassy Liberty cottons that I got from Liberty when we went a couple of weeks ago. So I'm really pleased with her and how she's looking. This reindeer actually comes with a pattern for a pair of dungarees, and I also like those as well. So I think I'm going to make her another outfit from the same fabric, but kind of alternate the patterns a little bit so that she's got 2 Christmassy outfits to wear. And another project that I want to start this week, hopefully, is to get on with the reindeer as well so that they can sit together by the Christmas tree and look really Christmassy. Another thing that I've been working on, and I did the majority of this last week when Lily was ill, is this little crochet snowman. So this is such a cute pattern that I found on Lovecrafts, and I was just going through some of my wool the other day and I saw that I had a ball of this white cotton wool left over from a vest that I knitted back in the summer, and I just thought that would make a really good snowman. So I looked on Lovecrafts. I was originally trying to find a free pattern actually, but this pattern came up and I just loved it. It was a paid for pattern. I think it was only about £4. I don't actually mind paying for patterns at all because I think people have gone to the trouble to design those, and yeah, I want to support other crafters, so I did buy this pattern. It's an origami, is that how you say it, crochet pattern, and it's just worked in the round. And then his little hat and mittens and arms and things are all just done in the round as well. This pattern had really clear instructions. Again, I found it really easy as quite a beginner crocheter to follow. And yeah, I just really enjoyed making him while I was sitting on the sofa watching films with Lily last week. I always like to feel like I'm doing something. I'm sure a lot of us feel like that. I just can't sit and watch telly without doing something at the same time, be it knitting or crocheting or whatever else. So he was really nice to do. All I've got to do for him now is put his little feet on. So I need to make those up, and then he needs some buttons down the front. The pattern actually says that the snowman has eyebrows, but I'm not sure if I'm going to put eyebrows on. I think he looks quite nice as he is. So that's another pattern I thought I'd share. I'll link both of those patterns down below if you're interested and want to find out more information about those. But these 2 are an example of the kind of things that I really want to make time for doing this Christmas, because I see so many lovely things around that I want to make, and often I just get to the end of Christmas and none of them have been done. So yeah, important to make time for these things this year, I think.
As I stroll on my way to you, how will you feel about packing up?
So So I might be good at remembering to put on my wash in the morning, but one thing I'm not so good at is actually remembering to hang it out. I tend to leave my washing in the washing machine all done and never remember to hang it out until later on in the day. So we just got back from our dog walk and I realised the washing was still in the washing machine, so I quickly hung that out. And now the house is smelling nice and fresh from my lovely small detergents.
I would rather be somewhere with you without TV or phone. Is it wrong for me to want you for my own this Christmas?
Hi everyone, welcome back. It's now a Wednesday afternoon. I go out on a Wednesday morning to a Pilates class, which I've been doing with my friend for almost a year now. We started it last January as a kind of New Year's resolution between both of us. We really wanted to do something because we both found that we struggle a little bit sometimes with our backs and things like that. So yeah, we've been going for nearly a whole year and it's been so good for me, I think. Anyway, I've got a couple of things that I just want to get done before I go back to school, and I also want to just talk to you about 2 finished knitting projects that I thought I would share. So the first one is this one. This is the hat that I was knitting for my daughter. She chose this purple yarn from Hobbycraft, and then this lovely fluffy pom-pom here was from Black Sheep Yarns, which I got from the Knitting and Stitching show back in October. So this was a really simple pattern. It's just knit in 1x1 rib. And I actually got the pattern from this Moda Rowan book, which I picked up from John Lewis. So the hat itself should look like this, but obviously we've added a pom-pom to it. So this hat was a little bit of an experiment because I was using wool that the pattern didn't recommend, so I wasn't quite sure how the sizing was going to turn out. And I was also a little bit worried that this was going to end up too long. As it turns out, I wish I'd kind of done it longer. I was trying to measure it up against her as I was knitting it to see the length of it. And I actually cut it a little bit shorter than the pattern suggests, because obviously the pattern is actually for an adult and she's 10. So I was a little bit worried that the hat was going to be too long, which was silly really, because you can always turn a hat up, can't you? So I don't really know what I was thinking there. Anyway, I stopped a little bit early, cast off and sewed it up and everything, and then realised that it could have done with a little bit of extra length really, because it's not actually long enough for her to turn up, which is a bit of a shame, but nonetheless she does like it and she's pleased with it, and she has worn it out and about. We went to a National Trust property Christmas market at the weekend and it was very cold, and she wore this all the way around, and I have to say it looked really nice on her. I was just a little bit disappointed that you couldn't turn up the brim on that, so I'll know for next time. It's actually made me realise that maybe knitting hats in the round is the way forward, because this book is really good actually. It tells you how to knit the hats flat or in the round, and I did wonder if I should knit it in the round, and then I chickened out and did it flat. So if I'd have done it in the round, I could have tried it on her properly as I went rather than trying to guess. But lesson learned, there we go. That one's done, and I might actually make her another one. I do really like knitting hats actually. They're kind of satisfying and they're quite a quick and easy project most of the time, aren't they? And then the next project I managed to finish was this one. If you can see it with me holding it like this. So this is my Zerulum sweater by We Are Knitters. I brought it in a kit and it's made from a recycled cottony feel yarn. It's just called the recycled yarn. So it has quite an interesting texture. And if you remember, if you watch my channel frequently, I was procrastinating about sewing this up because of the amount of ends that I needed to weave in with the stripes. When it came to sewing this up, I actually did what most of you suggested and used the ends of the stripes to sew up the sides and the sleeve, and that actually worked really well, and I don't know why I didn't think of doing that myself, because it was the obvious thing to do, so thank you for helping me out there. Anyway, I have to say I'm really disappointed with this at the moment. Maybe I'm being a bit over dramatic, but when I first tried this on, I really didn't like the fit of it. So it is a little bit of an interesting style in that the back and front are just sewn, or just knitted, sorry, in a complete rectangle. So there's no real shaping for the neck. So you've just got like a slash neck, I guess, for the front and back. And then you pick up and knit this higher neck here. So yeah, it is a little bit interesting, and I maybe should have realised how it was going to sit before I knit it, because normally you would have, you know, a rounded bit here, wouldn't you, for a neckline where you'd cast off and then pick up again. This one, yeah, is just knit completely on the flat, and when I tried it on, the seam along here was just really fitting funny around my neck, and it felt really strange. I haven't got any photos of this yet. I'm going to do that tomorrow. I'll try and put a photo of this in before the end of the video so you can see what it looks like. The other thing on this is that the sleeves are too short, which isn't necessarily a huge problem because I do tend to pull my sleeves up anyway. But you'll see when I put in a photo of this that they are a little bit too short. Or possibly I do have some leftover yarn, so I could have knit on with the sleeves, which is a bit annoying. So yeah, that's that one. I'm a little bit underwhelmed with this one at the moment. The other thing I need to do is actually block this, because I think, or I hope, that maybe blocking it out will sort out some of the sizing issues, especially in the sleeve. If I can soak it and then pin it out, maybe that might lengthen the sleeve slightly. I don't know. I'm not sure what it can do about the neckline anyway. So I think I'm going to have to block it and try and wear it and see how I get on with it. Anyway, I need to walk the dog and then I need to go back to school to pick up my children. But just before I do that, I'm going to try to cut out my reindeer by Studio Serum Patterns because I'm hoping for a bit of sewing time tomorrow. This is the fabric that I'm going to be using for the deer. This is actually just leftover. It's actually leftover linen look cotton fabric that I used for my cushions that I used to sell in my Etsy shop and sometimes still do. Long story. Anyway, yeah, so I'm going to use some scraps of this. It doesn't take much fabric at all, and since I had this I thought I would use it. It's actually lighter than the deers in the pattern images. So that's what I'm going to use for the main body, and then I have this white for the rest of the base. And that's just basically the same fabric but on a white cotton, so, or a white linen look cotton. So it's quite sturdy fabric, so it holds the stuffing and the shape of the toy really nicely. And then I still have a lot of these Liberty half meters of cotton, so I'm going to cut out the little dungarees for the female deer. And then I'm not sure what I'm going to use for the clothes of the reindeer yet. I will cross that bridge when he's made. I think my daughter wants me to get some tartan and do him some little tartan trousers like the pattern image, but I'll have to see what I've got in my scraps. Or if I don't have anything, maybe do a quick dash to Hobbycraft and see what they've got. Yesterday I managed to get my South Bank sweater dress finished. I really like how it's turned out. I will show you it tomorrow because I need to take some photos of it for Minerva and write it up and everything. I don't really feel in the mood to take photos today since I'm still in my Pilates gear. I can't really be bothered to get changed and everything, so I will do that tomorrow. So I probably won't chat anymore today, but I will catch up with you again tomorrow. Morning everyone, welcome back. It's now Thursday. This morning was a super frosty morning. We haven't really had any frost this winter so far, but the last couple of mornings have been a proper sunny, lovely frosty mornings where you have to scrape the car and almost be late for school because you haven't realised you've got to scrape the car. One of those mornings, but it's really lovely and really pretty. So I'm wearing my South Bank sweater dress today, which I got all finished the other day, and I really like this. I'm really pleased that I had a go at that pattern. So this morning I managed to get my photos done for Minerva. Always the worst job taking photos. I just don't like it. I don't know why, it just always feels a bit of a chore, so I got that done first thing so that that's done and out of the way. So I'll put in a couple of photos here so that you can see what it looks like. So yeah, I'm really happy with this. I think in this fabric, this was a bit of a difficult fabric to sew in some ways because it's really stretchy, even though it's really cozy and nice to wear. So yeah, there's a couple of things with this particular one that I'm not quite sure about, in that it was very difficult to press as well. There's something in it that wanted to stick to the iron, so even with my pressing cloth I was having trouble pressing things flat. So the neckline kind of wants to bunch down, and I feel as though it could maybe benefit from a bit of stitching around here to keep it in place. And the same with the hem actually. The hem kind of wants to roll under, and I couldn't quite press it flat enough to sit flat. So even though I'm wearing it today, I might actually make a couple of changes to it. Let me know if you've made the South Bank sweater dress, and let me know if you do top stitch around any of the cuffs or the neckline or anything. It didn't say to do that in the pattern, and I actually sewed this entirely on my overlocker, which was really nice actually. But yeah, I'm just wondering if a little bit of a top stitch would help that to sit better. So I just needed to finish up a little bit of work this morning, but I'm going to have a little bit of sewing time now, and I'm going to get started on my reindeer that I cut out yesterday. But before I get going, I thought I would just share with you another couple of things that I've got. So first of all, I've got another new knitting project to share. So the next thing I'm hoping to knit is another hat, and this time a hat for me. And the hat I want to make for myself is this one. I hope you can see that. It's probably a little bit white on the camera. But it's a cable knit beanie hat, and it's called the Josie hat, and it's again from this Rowan book, which I just love. So I ordered the correct yarn for once. It's Rowan Kid Classic yarn. It feels kind of like wool actually, and I'm hoping it's not going to be itchy to wear on my head. But anyway, it's a really nice quality yarn. I got this from Love Crafts, and you only need 2 balls luckily, because it is quite a pricey one, this one. So that's what I'm hoping to knit next, and I've cast it all on. So yesterday I did say that I was going to try and knit the hat in the round, but I've actually started it flat again, and the reason for that is because I don't have a loop or a wire that's the right size to knit this size hat on. So yeah, I'm doing it flat again. I could have done it on 4-pointed needles, but I don't really like knitting with 4-pointed needles. I find I get in such a mess with it all, and I don't like knitting on the magic loop either, so I decided to just knit it flat again and hope for the best. So this one in this yarn is actually done on 5mm needles, so I think it's going to knit up a little bit bigger than my daughter's one, which is good because I have a bigger head. And then the next thing I wanted to share was some new fabric that I brought. So I mentioned in a catch-up video recently that I was hoping to make this dress in time for Christmas, and I'm going to make a shorter version of this one, I think I decided in the end. This is the Closet Core Knix dress. It's quite a new pattern, and it looks really lovely and floaty, and I really like the blouse that you can make as well. I did originally say that I was going to buy the Atelier Brunette Dobby viscose fabric, but when it came to it I was a little bit dubious about the actual colour of this one, because I'm really funny about the colours of reds. I don't like anything too bright, like a bright red. I really wanted a kind of burgundy red, and I wasn't convinced that this one was going to be a burgundy red. So in the end I decided to go for a completely different colour and a different fabric, and I brought this viscose, and this is one of Minerva's viscoses, and I got it in a kind of rusty colour because I thought that was safer, and I know that I like this colour and I know that I like wearing it. So that's what I went for in the end, and that's what I'm hoping to make up this Knix dress with, hopefully next week if I get any time. This is a really lovely quality viscose actually. I'm loving Minerva's exclusive range fabrics. They're all really good quality. I've had a few of them now and they just feel really lovely. So I'm looking forward to getting on with that next week. It's been a little while since I made a dress, so I think I'm due one. And then the last thing I thought I'd quickly share was this dress that I managed to make up last week for my daughter. It's a really cute sweatshirt style dress that she likes to wear with leggings and things like that. So I got that finished. This was in the fabric that I brought from Minerva, kind of in error because I didn't realise I'd already made something in this. So I decided rather than make myself 2 things from the same fabric, I'd make something for Lily instead. So yeah, this is just a simple sweater dress, and we attached this little iron-on sloth motif. At the moment this is just ironed on. I might actually go around and hand sew it on because I'm not convinced this is going to last through the wash. The pattern that I used to make this sweater dress is actually this one that I've had for a while from Stop and Still. I originally bought this to make a jumper for my son a couple of years ago, and he's long since grown out of this. But yeah, it's perfect for Lily at the moment, and all I do is just use the outline of this pattern, and then I lengthen it down to dress length, and I just use one of her other ready-to-wear sweater dresses that she had to get the length, and I sewed this up really quickly. It's a very quick and easy sew. So I think I'm all caught up now with everything new that I had to share with you, so I'm going to have a bit of sewing time now before I need to pop out again at 12 for an appointment and see how far I can get with this reindeer. So I managed to get this far with the deer. So I've done the body and I've done his legs and arms and ears. I need to find some fabric for the antlers actually, so I'll look for that later. So next I just need to stuff all these pieces and then sew them together, and then you do the face embroidery and stuff and sew the antlers onto his head. So that's going to take me quite a while. But the other thing I did get done was to do this little outfit for the female deer, which I love, and that was such a nice little project. It's quite fiddly doing these little ruffles, but it's a really nice sew, and I think she looks really pretty in her new outfit. So I need to decide whether or not to put a bow on her. Such dilemmas in life, whether to put a bow on a deer. But yeah, I'm gonna have a think about that. I don't know whether I just want to leave her like that. Anyway, I'm going to leave the video here now because I need to pop out this afternoon, and then it's going to be back to the school run, and I'm very aware of how long this video is getting. When I edited last night, I think it was already up to nearly half an hour, so I don't want to go on too much longer with this video. Next week, hopefully, I will film a similar video, so I hope to have a finished reindeer by then that I can show you next week, and then I'm hoping to get some sewing time enough that I can start my Nick's dress as well. So if you've made it to the end of the video, thank you so much for watching. If you aren't already subscribed to my channel, I'd love you to consider subscribing. Let me know in the comments what you've been up to this week, whether you're working on anything Christmassy as well. Other than that, I'll say goodbye for now. Take care everyone, and I'll look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye!